has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Hey guys, Mazel here again. Taking a look at Stewie for the third time, and I picked a bit of a different game for him. I picked one where they lost, and he didn't frag particularly well either. My last one of my recent reviews of Rush, I kind of did the same thing where he didn't have a great game, so I thought, and his game was super sketch. So I'm like, you know what, maybe losing and not fragging well kind of does put a player more on tilt. Maybe that'll encourage them to cheat more. So I figured, what the hell, I'll check out this demo from Stewie and see what I find. Not much happens in the pistol round. Get a little close to somebody there, and I don't think it's anything. He's just turning around. I'll just slow it down here. Gets close. Yeah, that's no big deal. Nothing really we can call it there. It's just moving around crosshair placement. The next round, you're to see, he does pretty much the same crosshair stuff that he does every other demo, where he's moving it around a lot. And whether it's adding misinformation or it's a habit for him, like, it really does, you know, I still don't buy shit like this, you know. It kind of looks suspicious, especially when it's slowed down. It doesn't lock right on its head or anything, but definitely could be using an offset. That's where it stopped, by the way, and then it started coming back. I was really hoping this round would play out in a situation that would kind of show us, you know, if Stewie had knowledge that a guy was there, but it really didn't work. So that little flick from him, we just can't really fucking draw any conclusions from it, right? Because he does flicks like that so often, but I still don't like seeing it, you know. I still feel like it's really, he's just adding misinformation with his crosshair movement. And he never seems to fucking get caught off guard, you know? Like, his crosshair is often in weird spots and flicking around, but he never seems to get caught off guard. Cloud9 throw a double flash long just to try and bait out anyone playing anti-flash, and it ends up working on Stewie here. He mistimes the turn a bit. His flash went off, but his teammates hadn't gone off yet, so he gets to eat the second flash from his teammate there. I want to show Stewie entering onto B site here, and when he comes in here, he doesn't look suspicious or anything. This all looks really, really normal. Doesn't look like he's trying to use an aim key to find anyone or anything, and it's a pretty super tight game. We're still early, but you know, he would have a reason to try and do that. There's a clip here where it looks like he's kind of aim keying, but this is legitimate. You know, one of those times you're actually just kind of looking to hear the footsteps. I think, you know, Overpass is one of those really weird maps where the players are separated by a lot of ground, but you can hear them because of the elevation change, you know. Oh, rough nade to take there. This is a pretty bad round, actually, and I'm going to tell you what I think he's doing. I think he's hitting his aim key there, and then following it up with swipes that are similar to kind of try and add misinformation. So you could see him, like, swipe more, you know. His aim key took him to the right, and now he swipes more to the right just to kind of look like that's his habit. And he just swiped again to get information, and he lets go before it gets to the guy. Or, you know, that might be another misinformation swipe, but I think it's another swipe to get information because he can hear them run back. He knows that they rotated back. He heard the footsteps that they're leaving the site, yet he's still really dedicated to the right side. And I think if I was just playing with my headphones, I'm just going to replay that whole scene again. If I was playing with my headphones, I would think I would just not even look to the right there, you know? So it feels like he's looking to the right as he comes out on site here, like he has information that someone's to the right. When you hear the footsteps of people running, leaving the site, you know, running to the left, and he may have even been able to hear both of them running that way, it's really odd to go into site and check the right side, I think. So yeah, I think this is a pretty bad clip. You could say it's just luck that he's lining up with the guy through the wall, but it seems like his game sense is affected by what he was lining up through the wall. Alright, we got a pretty long round here, and it starts off with one of those weird bunny hops. I always keep my eye on players that are bunny hopping now. I don't think there's too much to that. He doesn't really play the rest of the round. He doesn't play the rest of the round out acting like that gave him any knowledge. You know, he just kind of throws that smoke and then runs around the corner, and doesn't really act like that gave him any info, so I don't think that's anything. He has a really weird turn here that I had to slow down to see what the fuck was going on, and he goes way past that guy, so I don't think it's anything. It's just a really unusual turn into the wall, I think. Maybe he heard something that he wanted to look at. It's possible. And he gets another turn around here. I don't think that's anything either, or nothing conclusive anyways. Doesn't lock onto the dude or anything, but we do have some fishy shit here, and I'm gonna show that at full speed again just so you can appreciate it. Like, what the fuck? This really looks like he's hitting an aim key probably the first 2 times at least, and then maybe doing decoys the rest of the time. It would be a really good spot to hit an aim key because he's trying to figure out if anyone's coming stairs. He wants to know in the after plant, are guys coming stairs, or are they just all coming from the main entrance, you know? So yeah, that aim key makes a lot of sense. Here again could be aim keying as well to double check, make sure there's still no one stairs, and tapping it just like that would show him exactly that, and he's letting go before the aim key gets to 0, and then maybe throwing in a decoy or 2 flicks there. So I think that's some really shady shit. You're going to see as he comes up at the end of the round here too, he lines up the guy's head as he comes through the smoke. This might not be anything, but I thought I'd put it in. He does line him up really well. I'll slow it down and kind of zoom in so you can see it better. But overall, this round looked really sketch. It seemed like every time he fucking did his little spasm swipe, it was going towards someone, you know? And that's quite a red flag. Really smart play here from Stewie. They pop flash him into bathrooms and he shoots just before the pop flash goes off, trying to bait Dead Fox into looking into the pop flash. Unfortunately, the pop flash, they threw it a bit too far, so Dead Fox had a lot more time to react than he needed to have, you know. So it didn't work out, but cool little play. Alright, on to the pistol round, and the first half for Stewie really didn't look very good. Even accounting for all the weird crosshair movement and stuff he does, I still think there was a lot of stuff in there that did not look normal, and kind of fell outside the realm of, you know, oh, I'm just moving my crosshair around to fucking shake it around a bit. But he does put a lot of misinformation out there, so it is kind of hard to judge. He does have some aimlock looking stuff there, but the guys are running around in bathrooms and towards long, so he can hear a lot of it. And that just kind of spoils the information, you know. He could just be kind of looking into the wall to see what he hears. But it does kind of look funny. Can't comment too much on it, you know, just because there are footsteps going on. I'll just fast forward through here. He just sits at this fucking wall pretty much the whole round. And he gets called over to B to help with the retake here. I don't think too much happens here. I'm pretty sure he gets in a gunfight and gets fucking popped. Alright, we got another little bit of a weird spot here. Could just be his crosshair missing his spot when he flicks, but I don't know, man. I'll let you guys check it out. You can kind of make your own opinion. I mean, you're gonna see it right away where he just doesn't quite flick over across the pillar the right amount, and he lands pretty good on Dead Fox there. So I'll zoom in here. You know, you can form your own opinion. If you think you just missed the pillar, maybe that's possible. It's possible he also aimlocked the shit out of him. So clips like this, you know, it's nothing too conclusive. You just you got to speculate and make your own opinion, right? So, and to help you make your opinion, here's 4 other clips of Stewie doing the same thing, but not landing in the middle of the pillar. So these are all flicks where he mostly overflicks. He has one where he very slightly underflicks. That one. But yeah, you can form your own opinion. You can see he's typically pretty accurate with how he does that. I think maybe there is something going on there, but I could definitely see the other side of the argument, you know. The rest of the retake, not too much goes on. It looked pretty normal for the most part, at least nothing conclusive. Stewie hits a pretty nuts op shot here, so I measured the reaction time on it, just like I've done with some other stuff, and it's 387 milliseconds. I suspect it's so slow because, like, you can see the guy's head. I start counting as soon as it's visible, and it just barely peeks out behind the brushes, you know, so it's really hard to react when you're just seeing a sliver of the guy, right? That's probably why the number's so slow, but it looks so fast when you see it at full speed, just because it's hard to react when you see just a little bit of the dude's head. I'll fast forward through this and we'll get to see Stewie do a retake on B. And I kept it in here because it's one of those retakes that just looks 100% clean. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to only show rounds where it looks dirty. So I put this in. You guys can let me know if you find anything. But for the most part, it looked clean. Like he kind of was near guys as he fell off the drop there. But I don't think you can really make a strong argument for that. And then he knows where Bondic is because he just killed his teammate. And that's it. Stewie gets a really weird clip here. But I'm not sure if it's anything. Like, it looks really fucking bad. You can see, like, through the wall, he locks onto the guy a little bit. And then does the weird circle move kind of thing. But when he peeks, he's not lined up with the guy at all. So that's what leads me to believe that this may not be anything, you know? If that was an aim lock, you would think he'd be using that information to fucking line up his crosshair really well. And in this round, it doesn't really look like that. So maybe I'm misreading this, but yeah, you know, since he doesn't really line up the guys, he comes around the corner. You can't really make a very good case that that was an aim lock just because of that. His last kill here is super normal looking, sees the shadow and sprays the guy down. Stewie gets a pretty nasty spray down on the guy in the smoke here. He doesn't actually hit him. Like, Skadoodle gets the op kill, but I'm going to slow it down. Like, he's locked in pretty hard to the guy. It's really his first good smoke spam of the game. So, I mean, I'm not going to freak out too much or anything. It's a pretty small passageway to spam as well. So, it's not entirely unlikely that he'd fucking be close to the guy. So, I don't think there's anything to here. I just wanted to put it in there, let you guys look at it. It's really hard to kind of decipher what is a legit smoke spam and what isn't. I mean, unless you're Xantares, those are all pretty blatant, but... Alright, there's some really fast movement here that I'm going to want to slow down, and it looks really sketch. You can see, like, I know he moves his mouse like that a lot, but how many times does it have to land exactly on somebody before it starts getting questionable, you know? And not only that, he seems to kind of use that information, you know? Like, if he's aim keying there, he knows nobody's short or sandbags, and then he looks boost. Of course, it's not totally unreasonable to just look boost in the position that he's playing. Like, barrels is one of the places you can get shot from easily if you're looking boost. But still, it does kind of look like he's moving his crosshair around a lot. It looked like he was going to look short, and then he just decides to look boost, you know? So I thought maybe he was getting influenced by the info he gained. And that whole scene just looks fucking ultra fucked. It looks really bad. I'll speed up here. This is the last round. Cloud9 go on to lose this. And not much happens at the end, actually. Kind of surprisingly. But, yeah, it was a clean finish to the game. And this demo from Stewie, man, I don't know. There's some fucking weird shit. I really think something's going on here. I don't want to be the guy that gives... I don't want to give him leeway just because he moves around the map weird, you know? Like, we still have to be critical of what he's doing and what he reacts to and how, you know, how we think his game sense is being affected, stuff like that. We can't just give him a pass on everything because he's moving his mouse erratically all the time. Therefore, every aim lock he has is just him moving his mouse, you know? That's not a good way to look at it either. So yeah, his demos are definitely a lot harder to look at and kind of dissect, but I don't want to give him free passes, you know, just because that seems to be his playstyle. I really do think something's going on. A lot of stuff happened in pretty important rounds and kind of late round situations as well. So this is my third demo that I've done of Stewie, and I'd say he's certainly above average in sketchiness. Like, his demos were worse than the Phelps ones that I did, for sure. Phelps, of course, doesn't have the whole erratic crosshair style, but, you know, just watching them play, you could definitely see that the 3 Phelps demos I did were a lot cleaner than the Stewie ones that I did. But because of the way he plays... Unless this guy locks onto someone and stays locked on for like 5 seconds, which I'm pretty sure isn't even possible with this shit that they're using. Like, if I was a programmer, I would fucking program that shit so it can only be active for like half a second at most. Just to prevent the pros from accidentally holding down the button for too long. I think that'd be the first thing that I fucking program in. But yeah, like, Stewie's never going to be like Flusha was back in the day where he's just getting ridiculous locks just because the way he plays puts so much doubt in your mind, you know? So he's never going to be a guy that comes up with these constant highlight reels of cheating clips because of his play style, and it's really hard to dissect, you know? Like, I did 3 demos and they are fucking not easy to watch, man. Like, they're tough. They're fucking tough to watch. He hasn't always had this erratic crosshair style. He used to play normal and never move his, like, he never fucking did what he does now. Before he joined Cloud9, he was like that. And you could see, like, I did a demo for that as well, just a banter type, I just quickly went over it, and you could see that he never used to do that. So that's kind of a red flag in itself, the fact that he started doing it. Is he trying to change up his playstyle? Why would he try and change his playstyle when he's playing pro already? Isn't he worried that would fuck with his aim? Or is he trying to move his crosshair around to hide shit? Anyways, I'll do a full recap of the 3 reviews that I did, and I'll put out a video for that shortly. It's a bummer we're not going to see him at the major. I'm definitely going to cover the fuck out of that when it comes up, but not for Cloud9. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.